Hi everybody, it's Diana with StampinWithDi.com and welcome to this week's Whatcha Makin Wednesdays. And my battery is dying, so hopefully it will make it to the end of the video. But now it's going to be talking in my ear. Battery, oh my gosh, and I have this going. It's just... Alright, so anyways, my hearing aid battery's going. So it has this man talking in my ear going, battery low, battery low. All right. So it's not too bad if it's quiet, but there's been times when it will talk and I will think somebody's behind me and I about pee. All right. So welcome to this week's Whatcha Makin Wednesdays. And I don't know if you're new to my channel, I always say hi. If you've been here before, say hi as well. But I'm kind of stubborn and I try with a might, right? To get something to work, and I'll try, and then sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes it does. So anyway, so I did that really cute no-line watercolor yesterday, and so remember I said I wanted to try something different, but I had to wait for something to come in the mail, and what it was copy paper, because you know how like when you're watercoloring, when you're coloring with the blends, it will bleed through, right? And we want it to bleed through. We totally do. And I'm like, and then sometimes you turn it over and go, wow, it looks so cool on the back side. You can't really tell what it is necessarily, you know? So I thought, well, what happens if I tried it with some different paper? So I tried with the copy paper at home, and I had some resume paper, and I'll show you that too. And I'm like, oh, it needs to be a little bit thicker. So I just ordered some thicker copy paper, and I used to always order, it was like a thicker, really bright, and I thought, why am I paying all this money for this copy paper when it usually goes in the garbage eventually, right? So I stopped buying it, but I was like, well, crap, now I need it. So anyway, so that's what I got. So that's what I'm going to use today. And it turned out totally cool. All right. So hi, Anna. You made it. And Ann and Lily. Who all is here? Nancy and Dawn. My sister's here. So my sister is going to be the moderator. And we'll just assume she knows everything. But that way, if I miss something, Brenton's here, and Deborah and Teresa and Sharon. And so she knows a lot though, right? So so if there's anything that I miss, then she can holler. Now she won't always be here, right? Because she has a job. But anyways, all right. So hi, Jill. All right. So let me stop blabbing. We'll turn the phone. All right. Now I'm using the same stamp set as I used yesterday because I want to be able to compare apples to apples. I don't want to compare apples to oranges. You know, somebody loses weight and they look miserable in their first picture because they have on like sloppy clothes and they're all like in a sad face. Then when they lose their weight, they have pretty clothes on and a smile. That's comparing apples to oranges in my opinion. So I wanted to use the same stamp set so we could really compare. Now, obviously, I can't use the identical colors on the Stampin' blends because you have to use kind of darker ones than you would normally. So, hey, Sandy, you made the live. And Barb's here, too, and Kathy and Laura. We have some new people on here. So, I love that you tell me where you're from. So, definitely make sure you let me know where you're coming from. Okay, so this is what I mean. So, this is the paper. All right, so this is what I had at home, right? So this is basic white. So this is just our pretty little birds stamped with basic white. And I wanted to use the blends. I love my blends. After doing the no-line watercolor, I'll probably do more watercoloring, and then you're going to start begging me to do the blends because you're going to be so sick of watercoloring. But anyway, so here's the basic white. And then you want it to bleed through. But see, it bleeds through, but not enough for my liking. So I thought, well, what happens if I just use copy paper? So then this was copy paper, but it's too thin, right? Because then you can see through it. But you can kind of get the idea of what I want to look for. So see how you can kind of see that coming through? But I don't want to be able to see the image on the backs. Like I don't want the image coming through. All right. And Barb, yesterday I used a shimmery, the shimmery paper. And underneath yesterday's video, there's a list of the supplies I used. So I just used a shimmery cardstock. Not glossy, not watercolor paper. I just used the shimmery white. Okay, so today I'm doing something totally different, all right? And then this was resume paper, because I thought, well, I have a little box of resume paper. That was a little thicker, but now the coloring wasn't coming through, but this paper had a texture to it, and it was really sucking up the blends, right? So you kind of don't want that either, right? So anyways, so then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to order some copy paper. So this is what I ended up ordering, and it was just off of Amazon, good old Amazon, right? And it was just white copy paper, but it's a 32 pound, so it's a little thicker. So that's what I ended up using. All right, so I have my little piece here. So this is, I'm doing the card identical so that there's a real, we can really compare. All right, so I stamped my birds, and I stamped them with the memento. And I want to also stamp my girl on the inside. So we're going to stamp our big bird on the inside. I did change my greetings to photopolymer ones so that they weren't crooked. All right, so we're just going to put our big bird there. And then we'll just let them dry. So I stamped this a little earlier, so it's dried better. All right, get that out of the way. All right, and then, so she'll take just a second to dry. And you can tell, like when the memento starts to dry, so see it's really dark, and as it dries, it turns more to a gray color. All right, so then I have a whole bunch of blends. And aloha, Minda. Oh, my husband's from Illinois, Barb. So I'll try to keep looking up. I'll try to keep looking up. All right. I just get like in such a zone, right? My coloring zone. So I have like a whole bunch of blends. Look at all these blends. So I have a whole bunch of blends. So what you want to do is a color that you might not necessarily use for coloring because it's so dark. You're going to want to gravitate to that one now because you want it to bleed through. All right, so I'm going to use some of the natural tones. So I have, let's see. So 100 is the darkest. So I'm going to use 200. Now, we've been told that these might run out before our next order come in just because of the shortages and stuff. These are carrying over in the catalog. So if you want them right away, don't hesitate to get those. And those are, I thought I had a flyer right here. So these are part of the All Together collection. You want to make sure that you grab them because now they're going to, like I said, they're going to be in the new book. But if you want them right now, you don't want to wait. Okay, so I'm using number 200. All right. And then I'm just going to color. I want to make sure you can see. All right. So I'm just coloring. Now I'm coloring on this side of the paper. And so that's why I used the memento. All right. So I'm just coloring. And I'm taking my time because I want it to bleed through. So yesterday when I was being real fancy and making things be bigger, you kind of don't want to do that with the blends because where you can go like this pretty little squirrel like I could like yesterday when I was doing this. Remember, I made the leaves be bigger. I just pulled that out. You're not going to get the same effect. So when I'm doing the blends with the copy paper, I'm pretty much just staying within the boundaries of the image that's drawn. All right, so this is, and then all I do is I just keep flipping it over. I just keep turning it over, and then you can see if you have to go darker anywhere, right? Because now we can see on the back side. So then you can go, oh, I need a little darker here or whatever. Just keep flipping it over, flipping it over. All right, so that was number 200. And then this is number 100. So the littler the number is the darkest. So 100 is really, really dark. And then the 1000 number is the lighter color. So it just takes a little bit of, to get used to that. Like I keep saying it in my head. Oh, you know what? Hang on a minute. Hold on a minute. Ugh, I forgot to go up. All right. So I want to go here as well, down to my leaves. And also remember I said how thin I was able to do those, my branches yesterday. So we're not going to be able to have the cute little thin branches like we had yesterday with the blends. All right. And then it goes out here. So we're just kind of, you know, you want to go over it a couple times, but like I said, you're just going to keep turning it over. So see, you can kind of see things happening. It's like magical. All right. David Copperfield and Diana Gibbs. Two magicians. I'm only kidding. I don't know magic. Jeff can make a quarter disappear. All right. So then this is the number 100. And then I'm just going to do their little legs. And then, so funny, now I can't remember. Was it Brenda? Oh my gosh, my memory. So when I took the pictures yesterday, I noticed this little bird, I forgot to do their legs. So I did it before, then I took my picture. But somebody said, hey, one of your birds is missing a leg. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I know, I've seen that. Okay, so then that looks good. Then we want Old Olive for the leaves. Oh, you know what I forgot? Heaven forbid. All right, so let's see. Let's go back. So I want to do this first. But I totally forgot because I'm so excited. All right, so let's see here. I want this. Okay, so let's do this. So I should have did this first, but so we'll just be careful. All right, so I'm going to take, so this is dark or light Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to just put a little bit here and there around my stamped image. So I'm just kind of doing like I did the other day, but I tried different things to get that wash look. You know how I had that kind of watercolor wash, and it doesn't quite work with this. So this is what I ended up doing. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of Bermuda. We're going to do a couple different colors just so that the sky isn't naked. We don't want our naked sky. So this is just Bermuda. And I'm just kind of going up into the nooks and crannies. And, you know, I'm just kind of going out, right? Like I'm just kind of going out a little bit. All right, then I have my dark pool party, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to kind of add on to that. So we're just putting some sky around our birds. So I'm just basically trying to get the same look as the card that I did yesterday, but using the blends instead. Because like I said, I'm very stubborn and I like to have a challenge. I'd like to challenge myself. All right, so this is the same thing, pool party. And then, so let's flip it over and see what that looks like. So see, it's given that kind of that look of a sky back there. And then I'm going to do my, what is this? Dark Highland Heather. So I'm going to add some purple in there. So we're going to add a little bit of purple. And it just changes the sky look, almost like maybe it's getting to be like nightfall. So we're just putting little bits here and there. And so see how I'm drawing it out just to kind of like draw your eyeball visually out. And there's like really no wrong way. Because it looks like poop on this side, but what looks like poop on one side looks really pretty on the other side. You can't say that about everything. All right, so let's see here. So then we're gonna, so see? So that's pretty good. You get the idea, right? All right, so let's go back to our birds. So I have my dark old olive. All right, so this is the dark old olive, and we're doing our leaves fully with the old olive. And I was surprised how nice the copy paper actually colored with the blends. I was like, ooh, except it sucks the color more, right? I mean, so your marker would definitely run out quicker than it would than using our, you know, the Stampin' Up! Cardstock. Like, I wouldn't suggest buying copy paper because you would be buying your like blends more often. But for this technique, I really loved how it turned out. All right, so that was the dark old olive. And then I'm going to take dark shaded spruce. Now, I would not normally put these two colors together. All right, let me turn that over so you can see. So see, you've got your leaves coming now. So I wouldn't normally put these colors together at all, but it looks cool when you add them together here. So then I'm just putting a little bit of shaded spruce just along the edge. I don't want to totally cover my old olive because I want the old olive to keep showing. I just want to have two colors on my leaves. So yesterday when I was using one color, like I did old olive, and then I waited for it to dry, and then I did old olive again to get the two-tone. This time I'm using two different markers. All right, so let's flip it over. So see, now you've got two different colors. Because you kind of have to do that, right, with the blends, just because you're not really going to get much of a darker color if you just keep going over with the same one. I mean, you kind of will, but I just like the two-tone. All right, so let's see. We want, so I stuck to the same color belly for the birds with the blends because we had one. All right, so this is the dark Calypso Coral. So that's going to be the belly of our bird. I'm just really coloring that in there. So they're all going to be the same. And then just to remember, your birds are going to be the opposite. We're going to use the other side. So these birds are going to be facing the other direction. So if you're going to do any greeting stamping, which I'm going to put a greeting on the end, we will do that last, or it will be backwards. So just keep that in mind. If you're doing this, it's going to be opposite. All right, so that was the dark Calypso Coral. And then I'm using dark Cajun Craze to make my birds have two colors to them. So let's turn it over so you can see. So see, you can see their bellies coming. And now I'm going to take my dark Cajun, and we're just going around the edges so that their bellies are still going to stay light, but there's going to be two different colors in our birds' bellies. So see, you could see the two different variations or whatever of the birds' bellies. All right, now we're going to do smoky slate. So yesterday, did I do smoky slate? I might have. All right, so we're going to do smoky slate for their wings. I think I did yesterday, yeah. So we're doing the same thing, smoky slate, but I chose the dark. So dark smoky slate for their wings and then their head. Got a wing there, wing there. Hey, Mary, better late than, oh, look what I did. Look what I did. Let's see. Oh, well, that one's just going to have a dark face. I'm not going to try to fix it because I don't know. Yeah, because see, if I can't take the color away because it's a color lifter. So he's just going to have a dark face right there. That's okay. This bird and this leaf is shadowing that guy. So that's why I did it. All right, so then we're going to take dark balmy blue. And we're going to color their faces in with the dark balmy blue. So one coat of the dark balmy blue. And then I am going to go back with the same. So we'll just put this here. So we'll see if it changes. Maybe that will be a good accident, right? Maybe that will be a good accident. There's no mistakes in stamping, only design changes. All right, so let's turn it over. So see, his head's a little darker than I wanted it, but that's okay. All right, so we've got our little bird heads. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same balmy and just add a little bit over here on the side. Let's see if we can fix that. All right. So see, he's a little darker than I wanted, but that's okay. All right, then we want pumpkin pie for their beaks. So we've got pumpkin pie. And you kind of want to really dab that pumpkin pie on there so that the beaks really show. Because we're so used to just going, oh, I can see that color. But remember, it has to bleed through. So it has to bleed through. So there's our little beaks. All right, then the flowers, I did the same. Oh, don't forget, I got to do the big bird. I got to do the big bird too. All right, so I still use the magenta on my flowers. So this is just a dark magenta madness for our flowers. I love that pop of pink. We could use a pop of pink in our lives, couldn't we? All right, so magenta madness. And then I'm also going to mix some cherry cobbler. So I'm going to put a little bit of cherry cobbler too. And so some of these colors I hardly ever use because they're so dark. So the dark cherry cobbler is so dark that I don't use it very often. But it works great here because it's going to bleed through very easy. So I'm just putting that a little bit on the side where the flowers would be darker. Right, so let me turn that over. So there's our little flowers. You can see the cherry cobbler, right? It had a little bit. Hi, Wendy. It has a little bit of color there. All right. So then we also, don't forget, we have to do the eyeball. Remember, we need the eyeball. So I'm just going to take the light. Oh, wait. I've still got to do some accenting. All right. So we've got our dark basic black. So I'm going to take my dark basic black and we're just going to do some lines here and there, like on the wings, just to give it a little bit of an accent. And actually, this looks kind of cute the normal way as well. So I might have to play with the copy paper a little bit more because it actually looks kind of cute. All right. So see, you can see that little bit of black. So you're just going to keep flipping it over and flipping it over till you get those marks that you want. Because I just want a little bit more definition. On my birds. All right, so that's good. All right. And then we have to remember their eyeball. Remember, we need an eyeball. So I'm just going to take the light basic black and I'm just going right over their eyeball. And then it will just go through and then you'll see their eye. So see, now our birds have an eyeball. So super cute. All right, so let's do the big bird. So here's the big bird. Now I have found with this technique, kind of the bigger the better. Like the bigger the image is a little bit better. But like I said, I wanted to do the same one so we could, you know, compare apples to apples. All right, so this is 200. So we're doing our ground. So I'm really putting that in there. And then our 100 for the feet. So you kind of want to go over it a couple times. And then flip it over and see how you're doing. All right. Like I said, it won't be that, it won't be as finely detailed as I was able to do yesterday. But I still think this is a really cool idea. All right, so this is the same color as I did the little baby bird. So this is just a light Calypso coral for our belly. And then the Cajun. So I'm basically coloring this bird the same as I colored the little birds. All right, so this is our Cajun. And our beak. So we need to come up with a name for this technique, Jackie. Yeah, it's still like no line watercoloring in a way. I mean, because there's no lines there, but you're flipping it over. So it's, I don't know what it is. It's backside. It's, I don't know what it is. So you guys can come up with, Janice came up with Mimeograph Monday with a twist. So you guys have better ideas than me. All right, so this is the dark smoky slate. Jeff's home. He came home early. So I just heard the door. He's probably forgot I've got my live going on. All right, so let's see here. Let's turn that over. See, look how cool. So the bigger the better, right? So then this is just shows up a little better because it's a little bit bigger. All right, so then we need our face. So our balmy blue. Because when I'm home by myself, I lock the house up tight. And I have locked myself out because of that. Remember that? All right, and then we have to do our little eyeball. Oh, I grabbed the marker. I grabbed the pencil. Let me do it. I grabbed this instead. All right, let me get the black blend. There we go. Let me just put, since I did that, I probably put a coating so it wouldn't go through. Who knows? All right, so there's our cute little bird. All right, so we have our little birds. Now, coloring with the blends doesn't bend the paper up. Remember yesterday the paper was bent, you know, from all the water, but these are staying flat, so I'm able to stamp my greeting before I glue it. All right, so let's see here. So I'm gonna put, so I'm choosing, this is my greeting, because like I said, I wanted to do one that was photopolymer so I could see through. So I grabbed All Things Fabulous. And I might have to send this card to my sister. All right. So let me stamp the first, and then I'll do the inside, and you'll see why. All right, so hold on. So let's do the outside. Reverse watercoloring. It could be no color. You guys have lots of good ideas. All right, so this is the outside greeting. So I'm going to send this to you, Jackie, if I ever get that turtle done. And I'll show you. I tried the turtle with this way. I'll show you that in a minute. All right, so hold on a second. So you make the flowers smell sweeter and the sun shine brighter. And the inside, I love the inside greeting. The inside is going to say, and this is so true, sister. This is so true. Nobody gets me like you do. Isn't that perfect? Isn't that the perfect? Because you totally get me. All right, so let's put our card together. Let's put our card together. If you don't have, oh wait, if you like the results better on the thinner paper instead of stamping in full black, you could stamp, that would keep this. Oh, on the thinner paper? All right, so here is, so this is that same paper, and so like this one, I stamped it with soft suede. And it didn't come through with soft suede either, but it would bleed a little bit, you know, like when I was messing around, just because the soft suede isn't like a memento, you know what I mean? All right, so then here was me playing, you know, trying to figure out my my sky. Here's Jackie's turtle. So when you flip him over, he's not too bad. He just didn't do what I liked. And then I was messing around with it again. And then this was me trying different colors, and then I would flip it over just to see what it would look like on the other side. All right. So that way you can see how and I think I scored these wrong. I'll have to trim it after. All right. So that's how my brain works. Hang on a minute. Let's see. Yeah. I scored it off in my haste. I scored it. Hang on, let me go trim it. Let me trim it so I can send this to my sister. All right, hold on a minute. All right. Much better. But sometimes I think the cardstock, it comes a little bit bigger, right? So then when we score right, it's a little bit off. All right, so let's put our bird on the inside. He's super cute. The turtle, Jackie, I can send you the both turtles. All right, then we just got to remember which one we're gluing, right? So you have to kind of say, bye-bye, little birdie. We still love you, but we're covering you up and putting you on the inside of the card. All right, so we'll flip it over. But doesn't that bird look so cute? So it's just a softer looking watercolor. But look how cute it is. All right, so definitely the bigger size is better. All right, so this goes on here. But like I said, it looks cute on that side too, I think. But it really, really, really bleeds through. All right, so this is going to go on here. Like that. And then, so this one I splattered. Do you want me to splatter it? So this was more of me playing. So this is splattered. Do you want me to splatter it? Want me to splatter it? Yes or no? Reversed, no line color. Totally awesome. I know you're gonna have to. I'll have to reread these so I remember. But it just kind of. I didn't know what else to call it, so that's why I just said, you know, whatever. But do you want me to splatter it? I'm still waiting. All right, so let's see here. We have the card because I need to splatter. Okay, yes, we're splattering. All right, so let's see. Let's see. We are going to splatter, and I'm just going to use. What is this? Shaded spruce. So we're going to splatter with shaded spruce. So there we got some splatters. So see, it added some splatters on there. So now it's just not solid white. All right, so let me put it on the card, and then we'll compare the two together and let you decide which you like. All right. So here was yesterday's card. So this is the one that was the no line watercoloring with the the water painters, and ink pads and refills. This one is the one I did today with the copy paper. coloring on the back side with the blends. So this is the back side, and this is, what we use. So, anyway, so what do you think? What do you think? Did I even glue it to the right one? I'm like, oh, this was the one I did earlier. I don't know. I have another one right there. All right. Probably in case I boo-booed it. Well, let's see. What else is here? I have all this stuff that I practiced on. All right. But anyways, so which do you like better? I think they're both cool. This one just is more, I don't even know what to say. First one, yesterday's, I kind of like that better too, because I felt more freer with this one, where I could, kind of add my stuff. Where this one, you can't do that because, the blends are thicker or whatever. But I love the look of this one, but I don't know what to call them. And definitely the Stampin' blends worked great. And so if anyone has an issue, they're like, oh, I can't do the blending, I can't do the, the highlight. This is easy because you're just really coloring, and then you're just flipping it over. So, but I wish it's almost, is mosaic? Does that look like a mosaic? I don't know. Oh, which one would be too stressful? Yesterday's? Oh, Pat likes today's card. But I don't know. Does it look like mosaic-y? I don't know. But I like how that the sky turned out. I love how the sky kind of turned out as well, because I wasn't for sure how that was going to go, and it needed a sky. I think I ended up putting a sky on all of them, so I can't even show you a plain one with all my playing, because it was just too empty without the sky. And then that just kind of worked out doing it that way. So anyways, oh, Joe likes today's. Yes, definitely. I step out of my comfort zone all the time. But so they're both unique, they're both fun. But I just thought, you know what? I'm going to try and see. And because I love how it always comes through the cardstock. And I was just like, oh, but what if? So that I love, what if I try this? Or what if I try that? So yeah. So luckily Amazon delivers quickly, because I just ordered that paper like yesterday, right? Because I was like, oh, I want to try it. Like when I was doing the one yesterday morning, I'm like, oh, if I just had that. And I looked all over the house, right? I'm like, oh, do I have like a pack of copy paper somewhere when I used to get that thicker? And of course I don't. So luckily it was delivered this morning. I was like, okay, I can do that. And then I made bread. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get going. So anyways, you want a tour of my room? Oh, Anna, you don't want to see it right now. Oh, you don't. I think there is a video on here. If you scroll back, there is a video where I walked through. I'm trying to think if I don't know if I had the big tables though that Jeff built me. I don't know if I did or not. I'll have to look. So anyway, oh Sharon, no, I can't even. It's almost a year now that we don't have Toby, so I can't even talk about Toby. I still miss him. I do. But I can't do another dog. As much as I love looking at everybody's puppies on the thing, and I just, my heart couldn't take losing another dog. So we're not even going to talk about dogs. Anyways, I'll just live through all your puppies. All right, so a watercolor zombie card. Oh, I just did that one with the hands. So anyways, but all right. I don't think I see any other questions. But yeah, so if there's ever anything that you want me to teach or a challenge, I love a challenge. I might curse. I won't curse on the camera, but I might curse before I figure it out. So anyways, but, so I do need a new tour, but I have stuff everywhere. So I'll have to look. If the tour was before I did the tables, I'll have to do it. But I have class stuff, spring social stuff everywhere, tack stuff, so there won't be a video tour for a while. So anyways, all right, so I'm gonna say see you later. Tomorrow, I don't do lives tomorrow, but I will see you Friday for my dies shorts. And I did get the magnet boards in, so maybe I'll mess with the magnet boards because it's super cool. And so anyways, thank you so much for spending some time with me every day. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you on a Friday. All right, bye for now.